Greetings everybody, DFG here, all my new family, coming to you from the cemetery. Hey guys, I just want to take a couple of moments and this is your education channel, your information channel, to things that, maybe you don't know about or things that you need more information on. My intent is to, is to enlighten, to share my knowledge with you. And I promise you this. My knowledge is research, well thought out, and it's knowledge with a lot of integrity. And so I'm just not giving you information just to, to have something to say. I'm giving you information because I think the information is pertinent, and I think the information is extremely important to us as a people and to our friends. And when I say us as a people, I'm talking about Native Americans. Okay. I'm talking about the native Aboriginal people who were here when this place was called Turtle Island. Native Americans like the one you're looking at in this picture. The Native American with the uniform on. Now you may ask, well, who is that Native American who served this country in the United States Air Force? Well, that Native American happens to be my son, my oldest son, Dale Francis Green Jr. Dale served this country for 8 years in the United States Air Force. Dale is deceased now. And matter of fact, he'll be deceased 8 years on tomorrow, September 8th. And, I miss this young brave, this young Native American dearly. I love him. His family loves him. And you know what? This was a soldier, a brave soldier, a warrior, who put his life on the line for his country, even before the Europeans came, okay? Because his ancestors and ancestors and ancestors, they also served this country. All of my father on both my mom and my father's side served this country. So the Native Americans have served this country in their battles, in their wars, to help America become the America that we know it to be today. But also, these were the people who made this land so prosperous, that made this land a land of milk and honey bountifully, a bountiful land that the Europeans came. We took care of them. We taught them how to hunt out in our land, how to plant in our land, how to harvest in our land, ultimately how to survive in our land. Okay? Now, the tragic side of the story, of these Native Americans is that two things, well, many things, but two things I'm going to talk about. First is that they were misidentified. They were told that they were Africans. Yes, Africans, believe it or not. Now, how does this man look like an African to you? Come on, serious. Come on. They don't look like Africans. We call them Africans because of the color of their skin. And we were taught that in the public school social engineering system. We were told that black people in America were children of slaves who came from Africa. And the way we were convinced that black people, based off the color of their skin, were from Africa was because of the color of their skin. So even our white, friends believe the same, unfortunately, lie that we were told. Because guess what? We don't look like Africans. That's no disrespect to the African. That's like saying a Chinese person looks like a Vietnamese. No, they don't. If you see somebody from China, I can assure you they don't look like somebody that's from, Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City now. Okay? There's a distinct difference in all of their features, although they may have yellow skin. Now, here's the second part of the story about this Native American. Okay? Not him, his people. In America, they had over 500 tribes. Not only did they have over 500 tribes here in America before the Europeans came, they had over 2,000 different dialects inside of those tribes. Okay? And although history books will tell you there were about 18 million Native Americans when they came to this country, when the Europeans came, that is not true. That is falsehood. Just like they told them, or told you, that these so-called colored people, slaves, Negroes, blacks, African Americans were from Africa. They lied about that. They also lied when they told you there were only 18 million on this whole entire continent. That is ridiculous. The actual number is about 270 million. Okay? 90% of that 270 million were killed by diseases, war, and other things that were brought into the country by Europeans. Now, excuse me, let me get that correct. Europeans, you're not responsible for 100% of those because there were infighting in the tribes. Unfortunately, some of it was provoked by you. You know, it took one tribe, had that tribe fight another tribe, and then another tribe, and then you kind of supported them with guns and gunpowder, you know, the typical things, rum, you know, other aspects of it. And ultimately, they were small enough for you to just come in and take their land from them, enslave their people, and then change their history. Now, I want to say this to so-called people of color, Native Aboriginal Americans, like him, like me, like many of you. We, as a people, have to step back and start understanding that if we're 90%, 10% of what we were, 10% is what we have left, about 30 million of us. So if 90% was wiped out in about, in the neighborhood of about 350 years, close to that, almost 400 years, it's not going to be long if we don't stop the killing, stop destroying one another in our communities. Now, as you guys may remember on a previous video, what did I share with you? 260,000 murders of black men on black men in the last 37 years. Let me say that number again. 260,000, over 250,000. Think about all the little colored Native American babies who are not here because all of those fathers are dead. Now, we're not even going to count those who are incarcerated, those who died from drug overdose, all these other issues, you know what I'm saying? Those who are sterile because of poor living standards, health issues, on and on and on. But this is what I'm going to say to you. Native American, so-called man of color, if you're going to survive, then you're going to have to take responsibility for what happens in your community. You can no longer sit on the sideline and let other people or expect other people to come to your rescue. They're not coming, guys. If they were going to come, they would have came a long time ago. And you know what? They shouldn't come. I'm going to just come out with it. It is not up to them to take care of us. It is not their responsibility. I know some of you will say, well, yeah, they created the problem. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can't come up with a solution. You follow me? Yes. You know, remember the Willie Lynch story? Willie Lynch said, well, I get them to hate each other and not to trust each other, and they'll just keep on destroying each other for another 300 to 1,000 years. So if you're going to say that they caused this, then you're saying that one white guy was so smart that he was able to come up with a program that would keep you doing all the self-defeating behaviors that you're doing, self-destructive behaviors, that one white guy could come up with that, and your childlike mind would still be implementing his program. Do you know what that would make him? That would make him your daddy. Not only would he be your daddy, he would be your God. Because only a God could do that. All right? And so if it's happening, it's not only did he become your God, but guess what else? You're helping your God perpetuate your own genocide. So what I'm saying to you, the first things are first. Stop allowing yourself to be called what you're not. You are not an African. And again, I don't know why that's hard for you to accept. You have a rich history right here in this country that goes back to 30,000 years. A very rich country. Matter of fact, your country was such a precious country that people come from all over the world to live in America. And I know they say because of the technology. Bullshit. They were here long before there was technology. They were here because of cotton, wheat, corn, tobacco, marijuana plants, herb, what's the word? I want to call it hemp plants, hemp. They were here for the hemp. They've been coming here for everything, guys. All, I can't never get that, they got that southern all gold, diamonds, all of those things they found in this land. Gas included. This is the land of milk and honey, and it's yours. It's always been yours. So I don't know why you want to claim Africa when you got Africa on steroids right here in America. But until you believe that, you're going to continue to get exploited and taken advantage of. And old Willie Lynch, he's going to be outside of your door waiting for the next coroner's truck to come around the corner after the gunshots to pick up the next dead boy or girl, man or woman, because you are an African. Okay, guys? We got to stop the hate. We got to start trusting. We got to start loving. We got to get the message out. First of all, if people don't know who they are, then they are who you say they are. Okay? So if you don't know who you are, I guess maybe you are a slave, Negro, colored, African, black, what other names you've gotten in the last 200 years. They kind of name you like every 50 years or so you get a new name. Did you notice that? Nobody else has gotten that. Negro, forgot that one. You know why? Because you don't know who you are, so you are who they tell you that you are. I know who I am. This Native American soldier absolutely knew who he was. Shawnee. That's right, Shawnee. Shawnee. Peace. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Hope you subscribe. And more importantly, share this video. Get the word out. Got to stop the hate, guys. We got to build the trust. And it's going to start with you, and you. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. DFG, get in flight.